My name's Chris Stenberg, and for this edition of Behind the Photo, we're going somewhere warmer than here. Okay, so we're not actually going there literally, but at least in my mind I can pretend that we are. I'm crying. Actually, no, I'm not. It's just really windy here. Oh God, the tears are back. I can't stop crying. It's killing me. See, this is the thing. When you're filming something, you always end up looking for this amazing view that's behind me right here, when in fact the wind is blowing straight in my eyes. We really should be filming the other way so I can stop tearing up. But I suppose, you know, no guts, no glory. So this photo is a photo I took in Venice Beach, California in 2017. I was on a work trip with a colleague of mine named Eric Thompson, who runs a little company called ET2 Media, and he's a fantastic video man slash former anchor man. And yeah, just a good friend. And we decided we'd make a little side project while we were on the go, and we wanted to make something around skateboarding at the Venice Skatepark, which is an absolutely incredible place. If you haven't been there, I highly recommend it. It's a photography bonanza for sure. Lots of talented athletes, lots of up-and-coming athletes, lots of just absolutely phenomenal skateboarders, and it really is probably one of the epicenters of skateboarding, certainly anywhere. So we were filming this interview with Donnie Hickson, who's a really cool up-and-coming pro skateboarder who moved from New Jersey to California to pursue his dream of becoming a full-time pro in the world of skateboarding. And he was very gracious with us and allowed us to interview him and his partner, Danielle. They were great. We filmed this interview, no lights, no fancy gear, a Sony a6500 with a 35mm f2.0 Canon lens and Metabones adapter, or Sigma adapter it might have been. We also had a small gimbal to get some moving shots, which was the Evo Rage S, but I don't think that's really the point of this conversation. We can talk about that kind of stuff some other time. But yeah, while we were filming this interview, we did it all natural light, and the sun started to go down, and at some point we had really just kind of maxed out the possibilities with the camera we were using. The A6500 is great. It's not the best low light camera. It's not bad, and certainly I'm happy with the result. And I think sometimes you just have to use what you have, and on that project, that's what I was shooting with. And even though there was fancier gear available, and we also had a 5D Mark III, we just chose to shoot it on the Sony because of the 4K and also the 120 frame slow motion. But back to the photo. So with this photo, the sun was going down. There was this beautiful, often like you get in LA, like a fantastic polluted sunset that is just radiant, bright orange. Just watching the last few people in the park just skate and get their last few turns in before security comes and kicks everybody out. But yeah, there's just something sort of magical about magic hour. When you have a sunset like that, but you also have an amazing subject that makes a great silhouette, you know, you have some good opportunities for a nice picture. And so we've got this guy here standing with his skateboard, probably waiting to drop back into the bowl or just contemplating his next move. And in the background, somebody rail sliding. And then you've got the birds and the people on the beach. And I think it was just sort of a wonderful scene. And we had the camera out, and so I just snapped this picture. There wasn't a whole lot of thought that went into it other than the fact that I knew I wanted everybody to be silhouettes, or as much silhouette as possible, and I wanted to have as much detail in that sunset as I could. 35mm is sort of the ideal travel full frame focal length for me, just because it's wide enough to capture most things. It's also small enough as a lens for the most part, unless you have one of these honkin' f1.2 or 1.4 or 35mm lenses. But generally speaking, you can get a small 35mm. Yeah, you don't have a zoom. You have to walk closer. You have to engage with the people you want to take pictures of, but it is wide enough to capture most scenes. And also getting a fast 35mm lens is not super expensive. The other thing is that I just find 24mm is pretty wide. It starts to make people's faces look kind of weird. 35mm has a nice sort of normal look to it. Also with 35mm, yeah, it is wide enough that you don't have to take 10 steps back. Whereas with a 50mm, I find often I just feel cramped. So for me, 35mm, that's my choice. What else about the picture? So the ISO was 100. It was shot at 1/1600th of a second, f4.5, and in Sony RAW format, and that allowed me to do a little bit of post manipulation to take down some of the highlights, you know, adjust the shadows accordingly, create some contrast that might have not been in the original image, and adjust the color temperature a little bit just to richen the sunset effect of magic hour. There's something about just being able to take a picture in sort of an expedited fashion, and I don't like to overcomplicate things. And I think with this one, this is a very simple, awesome moment that happened. And yeah, that's about it. So a few additional notes on this picture here. You know, shooting at f4.5 on that wide of a lens, pretty much everything's going to be in focus. You're not going to be able to create much shallow depth of field, but that's fine because in this picture, my goal wasn't to have a shallow depth of field. The idea here was to show the scene, and I think in this particular shot, it shows the scene well, and there's things happening, and I don't know, it's just, this picture makes me feel warm. That's what it does, and who doesn't like a good day in the sun in California, especially when you're from Canada? So on that note, thumbs up if you like it, thumbs down if you don't. Please subscribe and I'll make more of these, and send me a comment. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna go get warm.